Now, where are you from?
I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. A lot of people call it Duval County, but it's like Northeast Florida. You know, a little town, you know, kind of country. Like, we on the come up though. We got different things going on there. We got beaches, stuff like that, but it's just Florida, you know.
Is there a certain part of Jacksonville you rep?
Southside, Jacksonville, Florida. But, you know, the city, we all show each other love and stuff, but, you know, I be on the south side a lot. That's why.
Still living in Jacksonville?
No, not living in Jackson no more.
Where are you at now?
I'm in Atlanta right now, actually.
And how old were you when you made that move?
I moved to Atlanta when I was like, what, 18? Yeah, 18, like right when I graduated. That summer, I just saved up cash and then came here and started making plays. Been here since like 2014.
Was that a music career move?
Yeah, definitely. Like Jacksonville, you know, got the same network Atlanta has, and I just wanted to expand my musical horizon, so came to the next closest, you know, musical hub.
Now, what was it like for you growing up in Jacksonville? Can you paint the picture for us?
Yeah, it was dope, but it had its hardships. Like Jacksonville, it's not necessarily the prettiest place to be, especially if you don't have cash. So, like, you know what I'm saying? It got a little ugly at times, like people shootouts, people getting murdered, stuff like that. But that's what inspired me to do music, like just having a different outlet, not getting caught up in all the stuff that's going on in Jacksonville.
Some people can get caught up in that sort of side of life. How were you able to avoid it? Or was there a time where you could have gotten sucked up into that lifestyle yourself?
I will say I did get sucked up into it, actually.
Okay, you did.
But I always, you know, I got the mindset actually coming from it, like I don't want to stay here. So, you know, a lot of the stuff that I end up doing, you know, being a part of and stuff like that, it just, I realized, I know I had to grow from it. Like, I can't always stay here doing this stuff. So it was easy to be a part of it. Like, it's everywhere, especially in Jacksonville.
How does one make a way out of that, though? Let's say somebody's watching this and maybe in a similar situation. They want to get out of that sort of lifestyle, maybe don't know how. Any advice on that?
I would really say, like, just follow your heart. Like, find your passions, find your outlets for your emotions, and just don't let nobody tell you you can't turn it into whatever you want to turn it into, whatever it may be. Like, even if it's not art, if it's business or whatever, just find that thing and do that.
Now, would you characterize your upbringing as rough?
Yeah, I would say it's rougher than most people's. I ain't really start feeling like that until just recently, because to me, it's just regular. Like, it's just what happened to me. Like, seeing people with guns, seeing people with drugs, you know, and being a part of that, it was normal to me. But now, as I'm growing up and I'm meeting different people, telling them, like, different stuff that happened, they hear my music, and a lot of people tell me, like, wow, this never happened to me, but I want to hear more. I want to understand, like, what that type of stuff was like. So I just try to tell them, just try to make music that people could feel.
What was your roughest moment growing up for you? Having the rough upbringing you had.
One thing, I wouldn't say anything was rougher than any other moment, because they all taught me different stuff, but something that really stuck with me, it was like, I was with my mom and my sister, and the lights was off for maybe like a month. Like, you know, we had food, we had different stuff, but the lights was just off. So we low-key was just kicking it in the house, like, you know what I'm saying, in the dark, and candles and stuff. Like, we'd come home from school, light the candles, just chilling, got all the windows open. Then it turned nighttime, you know, it's Florida, it's not that cold, it's still kind of warm, it's chilling. So we was really kind of just thugging like that for a good month or two. And the weirdest thing about the situation is just like people in place who, you know what I'm saying, said they had our back, said they was helping us. It was like they was the ones kind of causing some of these situations. So that situation kind of changed, like, how I depend on people, and it really made me just start going to get it myself. Like, if somebody got to get it, you know what I'm saying? So that's how that situation left me.
Now, were you in the streets? When we talk about that other lifestyle, would we consider that you being in the streets, so to speak?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, a lot of my brothers, they gangbang. Like, a lot of my relatives, they gangbang. Like, we go outside and we shoot guns for fun. Like, I have shotting guns at people and shit. Like, it's just a lifestyle. They call Jacks to bang 'em. Like, we like playing with guns. Like, low-key, it's not a lot especially like someone coming from where I came from in Jax, it's not a lot of outlets for us to do stuff. So a lot of people be robbing, a lot of people be jacking and just doing hot shit. And it's, you know, especially the school that I went to Reebok Middle, and like people call that one of the worst schools in Jax, but it really got some of the most intelligent people. It just, we don't got a lot of resources like other areas. So, you know, we just try to make work where we can work.
Looking back, dealing with the streets, that can be a very risky path. Obviously, there's consequences that can come from that, violence that can come from that, incarceration, be it jail or prison, that can come from that, even death. Why go that route for you? Why make that choice?
Some people, well, actually, I ain't even gonna speak for some people. I'm gonna just speak for myself, really. You just feel like, what else am I gonna do? Like, either I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna starve, or I'm gonna do something, the closest thing I know how to do, and get some money, like just come up. So that's where it really started. Like, just, do you have a hunger, and can you think of another outlet? And so even though I did think of music as an outlet, I still didn't close my other outlets, even if it was illegal. Like, now I have a son and stuff, now I got other stuff that I'm worried about. So I'm definitely like, you know, holding off on a lot of the hot stuff that I was in. But when you need a way, you just make a way, you know what I'm saying? So.
Any regrets going down that road?
No, I just learn. I don't take L's.
Was it worth it? Was the risk worth the reward, or what you got out of it in terms of dealing with the streets?
No, I mean, I am who I am. You take risk, you roll the dice, and that's what it's about. You're gonna get what you get. And so I got what I got. I'm working with it. Everything brought me to this point. And so I can't say that I would change any of it, but if I could tell somebody else to skip it or try to do a different route, I would tell them they could do that. Like, it's possible.
Mm. Now, my next question to you, how young were you when you were on that side of things? When we're talking about the streets.
As early, like 10, 11. Like, I was holding my first guns and shit at like 11, fucking around with girls and shit, 11, 12 years old, skipping school already, smoking, like doing that type of shit. Like, to be honest, fucking 6th grade, me and my friends found a fucking dead body in the backyard. Like, it was a whole scene. Like, it was like, so, like, random shit, just off the wall shit happening, that shit done became too regular, really, from a young age. But like I said, that's just Jacksonville type shit.
When you see a dead body, and we see shows on TV like CSI or, you know, some of these Dateline crime shows and stuff like that, is it seeing a dead body in real life like how they depict in television or even in movies? Is it the same thing, or is it a different, does it look different? Does it smell different? You understand what I'm saying?
The smell is something that you'll never forget.
I've heard that. I've heard people say that.
Rotting flesh is like, it's just, you just feel like you got to get away from whatever area this is, because this shit is like bad. But I mean, seeing it is just, I don't know, you kind of shocked at first. Like, who is this person? Like, whose family is this type shit? Like, what got them here? Like, it's a whole bunch of questions you ask, but then you like, low-key just feel like, damn, that could be me, whatever happened. Like, you know what I'm saying, whatever's going on. So it kind of just make you appreciate shit, and you just know like shit is realer out here than whatever you got going on today. Like, he got some shit going on today or a couple of days ago, whenever. Like, so it changed your perspective, kind of make you appreciate shit.
You mentioned you were skipping school,
yeah,
stuff like that. What type of student were you in school? How would you characterize yourself?
I would say like smart, but mischievous. Like, I had straight A's, but I was just doing bad shit, like smoking, just fighting. And like I said, sometimes I didn't want to go to school, and I felt like I ain't have to. Like, nigga, I got straight A's, what the fuck? So, you know, sometimes teachers, they just wouldn't know what to do with me. Like, damn, he got straight A's, can we really chastise him? But like, he coming in class loud as fuck, like, we gotta say something. So, both sides, you know, I ain't no dumb nigga, but I mean, I feel like school not for everybody.
Were you singing or rapping while you were in school?
Since the 7th grade, yeah.
Mm. Which came first?
Rapping, and then I got to the problem where I was like, damn, I can't find no beats that really fit me. I'm just gonna start making my own. And then I got to the mixing. I'm just gonna mix my own stuff, and I really just immersed myself in all of it by the time I got to 8th grade. So.
Were you the type that was like battling other classmates and that sort of thing too, or?
Yeah, we'll be in the bathroom like freestyling, and you know what I'm saying, like, oh, bro, I made this song yesterday, you made this song today, like playing shit back and forth and just, you know, kicking it. Like, it's always been fun. That's why I like it. It's not like, you know, it's just, you know, something to do, kick it with the homies, but now I'm just making cash off it, so.
The activity that was going on in the streets while you were, sounds like 1 foot in the streets, 1 foot in school. Did that ever take you away? From school completely, where you had to drop out?
No, I wouldn't say I dropped out. Like, I just detached myself. Like, there'll be some classes that I failed because I didn't go to. Like, but it was never gonna stop me from graduating. I at least wanted to graduate high school. Like, college, I knew I wasn't feeling it, but for the least, like in today's day and age, at least, I was like, I'll just get my degree, my high school degree, because like, I know I'm smart enough to do it. Like, so I just did just enough work to get by. Like, calculated what I need to do that, and then every other second I got, I spent in the studio or getting some money. Like, school wasn't necessarily my first priority. It was just like another thing on the list, like, let me just get it done.
But that's why I asked, because you said it's not your first priority. It's easy for somebody to kind of let it go. Maybe in the 10th, 11th, 12th grade even. I've done interviews with plenty of people that have even dropped out that late. They're making money on the side, doing whatever they're doing, and that kind of takes a hold of them, and they leave school alone.
I felt like it was an opportunity on me to capitalize on at least some of the free education and free knowledge that they was giving out. Even though I don't agree with it all, I learned a lot of like social skills per se, English skills and different stuff like that I still think about today, that I still use. I mean, you know, all that shit, like, we don't really use, but I just took it for what it was. Let me just take this experience, it's not too long, and like see what I get from it. And I made like plenty of like long-lasting connections.
Were you self-motivated to finish high school, or was it your parents pushing you, or what?
Yeah, my parents was definitely pushing me, like, because my mom, she ain't finished, so she was definitely like, you know, in my corner. My dad he was the hardest on me though about it. But.
Now, after high school was complete and you graduated, was there thoughts on furthering your education at all?
Yeah, I definitely think at some point I probably want to run a school of some sort, like a music school, because Jacksonville, we don't have a lot of art schools, so I couldn't just be like, oh, I want to go to this school for making beats, producing, or whatever. So I'd like to eventually go study music, maybe even like medicine, and end up just like getting some type of art school going where people in Jax can go to be creative. Like, you know, when you tell people, like, I want to be a rapper, I want to be a producer, I want to do this, they kind of look at you funny, but it's like, you shouldn't look at people like that. Like, if your mind is right here, you can't even get to the imagination of where you could bring that. Like, we need an institution that's gonna put that forward, like push people to want to do that, succeed in it. So yeah, definitely I want to get back involved in school, but right now I'm just running up the check because making the school not gonna be free, you know what I'm saying?
So is that why college or technical school or music school wasn't pursued? Was it a financial issue after high school?
Somewhat, yeah. It was a financial thing, more so like I don't want to spend for this, because I believe in myself and my hunger for knowledge enough to know that I can get in the field and I can like really study and I can learn, if not everything that you're learning in a classroom, myself or through experienced people, and that's what I did. Like, I left Jacksonville and I came up here. I didn't go to no mixing school, no production school. Like, I just got in the field and started working with niggas, working with people that's like doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can pay attention to people and see like who really serious, who really trying to make an impact. And so I surrounded myself with those people, picked up different traits.
If you would have had the finances, or let's say got a scholarship of some sort, would you have continued with your education and done music at the same time, or just concentrated on finishing the education then do music after? I'm just curious to see if it was a different scenario, how you would have handled it.
Probably not. I probably would have still jumped into the field, because I feel like you can't half-ass nothing. So, like, I'm not finna halfway go to school and halfway try to be a producer, halfway try to be a rapper, because I'm gonna fall short in every category. Like, I'm very precise. I'm gonna pick a target, I'm gonna aim, I'm gonna hit that bit, then I'm gonna move to the next one, and I'm gonna do it in efficient way. So like, I'm not finna split myself up like that, because that's how you lose. Like, you know, just build each part of the foundation, make it strong.
Somebody watching this, let's say they just got out of high school and they have to think about the next step in their life, right? Let's say they have a passion for music. Doesn't necessarily have to be like a recording artist like yourself or producer. They might want to be a DJ or an engineer or a music video director, whatever the case may be. They have a passion for music. Do you tell a kid like that, go straight into the music industry, music business, music career path? Or do you tell a person, if they can continue their education, do that and music at the same time? What is the advice there? Understanding different scenarios can be different for everybody. What's the general advice there?
What I tell people, kind of like, you got to play your situation for how your situation is. So, you know, just assess the situation. I have people who I know, they went to school first and then they gathered skills that they could use in their music. And then I know people that went to school, felt like they got enough, and then they dropped out. So really I say, like, it's more about yourself, man. Just pay attention to what you're doing, what you need at the time, and don't think anything's definite. Like, the course can change, like, as long as you end up in the same destination. So if at any point you feel like, dang, I need to stop going to school, or I need to start going to school, or anything like that, just follow your heart and do it. But when you do it, go for it. Like, do the whole dash. Like, so, you know.
What was your parents' reaction to you not furthering your education after that and going into the music field, music career choice?
My dad definitely would have preferred that I went to school, like went to college and stuff. My mom, she was cool on the idea, but my mom, she know really how I am with myself, and she know once I put my mind to something, I'm gonna do it how I want to do it. So she just been supportive of the fact that I didn't go. Like, whatever I do, she just like make sure I do it well. Like, so. And I mean, that's for both of them, but even though my dad, he still would like me to go back to school though. It's just like, not right now. Like,
hindsight 2020, do you feel like you made the best decision, or do you wish you would have furthered the education?
Yeah, no, I feel like I made the best decision. Like, some of my decisions that turned out the best for me, they ended up from the beginning looking like bad decisions, but like I said, I trust in myself. Like, you never know what's gonna happen. So like, it's been instances like used to work at Moe's when I first got to Atlanta. At one point, I just felt like I need to quit. I just don't need to be here. I couldn't explain to you why, but that's just how I felt. Wasn't sure how the rest of the cash was gonna come for bills, whatever, but I quit. And then a week later, I got a call from one of my homeboys, KJ. Shout out to my man KJ, working over at Atlantic, brought me on as an engineer, started getting me paid. Like, but who would have known? Like, I just quit Moe's last week. Now I'm hustling, doing whatever I can, and then a week later, somebody called me with a spot at a major label. Like, that's just kind of unpredictable, but had I not followed myself, you know, where would I be? So I don't ever regret none of my decisions. Like, I just go at them.
You living in Jacksonville and then you moving to Atlanta, obviously Atlanta's a way bigger city with more stuff going on than Jacksonville. Was that your decision there and at that age to make it, or were your parents like, maybe you should wait type of thing, or how did that work?
My dad, honestly, he felt like I should wait and stay in Jacksonville, because like, he just felt like I was probably gonna go to Atlanta, get into trouble, and I wasn't really on my feet how I needed to be. But like I said, I just kept believing. I knew what I wanted to do, and my mom, she really helped me like facilitate it and make it happen. So at the end of that summer, after I graduated, we packed up all the stuff in the U-Haul. I got all my little money together. She got all her little money together, and like, we actually all left Jacksonville together. Me, my mom, and my little sister. And my mom, my little sister, they drove me up here, dropped me off, and then they went to Texas and they started like rebuilding with my older sister out there in Austin. So like, yeah, my mom, she really supported this. And my dad, he told me, you know, he was kind of wary about it, but I just went ahead and did it anyway. That shit paid off.
So that was your decision, or your idea to move to Atlanta?
Yeah, it was definitely my idea. I told my mom, like, this is what I wanted to do. Told her my plan, and she, like I said, she been supportive. She just went with it. She did what she could, and screw it.
Thinking back, was that the right age for you to make that move, or hindsight, do you wish you would have waited a little later than that?
No, I don't never feel like you should wait. When you feel something, and you in that moment, you in that moment for a reason. Like you got to listen to yourself, like listen to what the universe telling you and act on it, or you gonna miss opportunities. That's how people miss opportunities. They just think too much when you need to fucking just do what you gotta do what you feel, and just believe in it. So nah, like young me, yeah, he was sliding. Yeah, I mean I'm still young, but like younger me, like he was super hungry. Like we had the energy. That's the perfect time to move. Like when you're ready. So I would tell anybody, like as soon as you get the idea, get the plan formulated and stuff, like start making moves on it. Like why not?
After high school's over and you delve into the music career choice, are you in the streets at all still, or did you leave the streets and just dedicate yourself to the music career choice at that point, or what?
I mean, yeah, street life is always gonna be a part of me because that's where I came from. That's where, you know, a lot of my family, everybody still reside. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not rich, but I'm doing well. So I still be back in the hood, you know, I still be back in Jacks, and I'm not finna switch up on the hood. Like I'm finna try to rebuild it. Like a lot of these rappers is fool. They talk about being from the hood, but like they don't do shit for their hoods and they don't do shit for their people. But I'm one of them people that I go back home, I make sure everybody's straight, and I try to tell them what I learned, try to include everybody so we can start rebuilding our community. So like, nah, I mean, I'm still in the streets, but not in a harmful way. Like I'm in my streets trying to show people like you could do whatever you want to do. Like you don't have to do this shit no more. You know what I'm saying?
Now, you mentioned Mo's. Any other jobs you had growing up?
Oh shit, Firehouse subs. That shit was hitting. The meatball subs be hitting at that bit. Not gonna lie, but just got tired of that shit too. Like honestly, I be little jobs, like little warehouse jobs. I worked for like 3 to 4 months, and then the music shit just hit my head, and I quit them bitches and then go on to the next thing. But then, you know, once I got to the point of like working with Atlantic, like getting my reps up, and I fully just dedicated myself to music in 2015, like I've been straight, like, so.
Any of those jobs you mentioned tough?
None of them are really tough. They just taxing on your mindset. That's not what you want to do. Like they taking so much resources from your day. You know, what you thinking about is just mentally tiring, but none of them is hard jobs, like, you know, making sandwiches and shit.
Any crazy stories dealing with any of those jobs? Anything that happened out of the norm?
Yeah, it's a couple of, I used to work at this warehouse. It's a t-shirt warehouse, so they would bring in a whole bunch of boxes of t-shirts and had these big racks and shit you can climb on, probably like 25-foot racks with all boxes and shit. And so it used to be so many of us in this like big ass warehouse. Some of us would roll up J's and just climb to the top of the little 25-foot shit, and we'll be up there, you know, kind of behind the boxes, just smoked out, kind of taking a little break or whatever. Like management will just be walking around like can't see nobody on 25-foot shit. So low key we'll be making it the chill spot. It just looked weird, you know what I'm saying? When you come by and you're just like, damn, it's like 4 niggas up there on that fucking rack smoking weed and shit.
No one fell?
Hell no. They wasn't finna pay for that shit.
Could the management smell the marijuana though?
Yeah, but it's like, in this big ass warehouse, where you gonna go? What you gonna look for? Like, you can't even really see us on that rack.
I see. Anybody ever got caught doing that?
Oh, hell yeah. Niggas got caught sleeping up that bitch before. Took a good ass break.
So those jobs you quit, or were you fired from any of those jobs you mentioned?
Nah, I never been fired from any jobs. Usually that shit just get too mentally taxing. Then I'm like, damn, this is not what I want to do. Let me put my 100% into this, and then I get rid of it. And so that's really just been the cycle until now.
Both parents in your life still?
Yeah, definitely.
Good relationship with both?
Yeah, me and my dad, we had like, you know, our little thing, but recently it's gotten way better. Like, more so like after I graduated and stuff, we kind of got on the same page.
How? You came to him, he came to you?
Well, I would say he came to me. Like, we both got a lot of pride, so, you know what I'm saying, we'll sometimes just not speak, but he came to me and just really talked to me, just like, yo, we gotta reopen this line of communication, and I felt like he was right. I mean, I got a son, he's 2, so that's also what kind of changed my perspective on it. Like, I need to go ahead and start patching stuff up with my dad and like making a connection so my son can talk to his grandpa and, you know, all of that stuff.
How old were you when they separated?
Probably like 8.
Was that hard for you to deal with at that time?
Yeah, it was kind of weird, definitely. Like, yeah, it was definitely kind of hard because, you know, finances got split up. I had to see my dad on the weekends, or like if I did see him, and then like back then he had alcoholic problem and shit, so it would just, you know, kind of be back and forth, you know, trying to see him and just making sure he okay. And then my mom's just breaking off, you know, financially, she's trying to make sure everything's okay with us. So it kind of caused a lot of like chaos for a couple of years, trying to recenter everything.
Somebody watching this may be going through the separation of their parents, even at that age. What do you say to somebody like that? Any advice there? Of course, circumstances could be different for everybody, but any general advice? Really, generally? What do you say to a kid like that?
Like, don't blame yourself, and just know that people grow. Like, everybody have phases. Everybody's not meant to know everybody or interact in the same level forever. So relationships change. Just make sure like you keep your relationships with people like wholesome. Like, stay true to yourself and like how y'all interact.
Your dad was around though most of the time?
Yeah, it was weird with him drinking and stuff. Like, sometimes he would just forget shit and just not be there, or like overworking. But I mean, I could always kind of, you know, at least just call him up, just be like, hey, what's up, what's going on, even if I couldn't see him that weekend, or, you know, for whoever knows how long. And he used to be in the military too, so he would travel, go overseas for like a year and shit. But we at least always, I can call him and like, you know what I'm saying, he got my back. But now we got shit back right. That's all I'm worried about.
Was there another male figure in your life?
Nah, my mom really just kept to herself, like on her hustle and shit. I never seen my mom actually with another man outside of my dad.
Was your dad able to beat the alcoholic tendencies?
Yeah, I mean, he quit definitely in like, well, I think like 2015. But at this point, his kidneys kind of fucked up, so he don't actually have any kidneys. They had to take him out. He's waiting to get like transfers and stuff. So it's kind of weird, you know. I'm glad that he stopped in the time that he did, but it's like it still took such a time period that, you know, when he finally made it up in himself, like he was done, the effects and all of this stuff, it's like it's there now. So like he's still dealing with them consequences, but at least, you know what I'm saying, he's in his right sense ahead right now. We can talk and we can, you know, do whatever.
Did he quit before the health started getting bad? Was that the reason why he quit?
Yeah, he already started quitting before the health got bad.
Okay.
And then kind of randomly, he ended up going to the hospital. You know, shit just started feeling weird. Shit started going left. And so he went and got it checked out. And it turns out it was from the alcoholism and shit. So
it is a direct result.
Yeah.
So he's on dialysis?
Yeah, pretty much.
I hear that's pretty rough for people.
Yeah, you know, now that we got a better relationship, it kind of hinders his travel. So like, he can't always, you know, he can't just come up to Atlanta and see me, and we can't go fly here, can't go do this, you know what I'm saying? I turned 21, and then it was like, damn, I'm thinking I'm gonna have a drink with my dad, and it's like, nah. But I mean, that's not even a big part, really. I just wanted to be healthy, but you know, it do affect how his daily stuff is, like even going to my sister's graduation, like a couple months ago, him just having to do self-dialysis at home and stuff. It's very time-consuming, it's very uncomfortable. So I'm just, you know, trying to help him, you know, go through this uncomfortable period right now.